Tell me the stories of Jesus. I love to hear things I would ask him to tell me if he were here. Hi, I'm Guitarlele Grampa, Jim Henkel, and this is my Guitarlele. Today I'm just going to tell you about this instrument that I've been playing in the videos I've been sharing with you. A guitarlele is a unique instrument in its own right. It shares features of both a guitar and a ukulele. Now, the most obvious feature that it shares with the ukulele is size, because this is my guitarlele. And this is my guitar. Wow! It's so much bigger. I can hardly put it in the picture. And the guitarlele would fit right inside of it and have room to rattle around. This is so much smaller. Because this is the size, the guitarlele is the size of a tenor ukulele, both in body and in scale length. The scale length is measured from the nut, inside of the nut, the bone piece here, to inside of the saddle, the bone piece here. 17 inches for this guitarlele. Some stretch a little longer, up to 18, but get beyond that, you're starting to get into a baritone size, which guitarleles do come in baritone, and most of them run 19 to 20 inches, maybe just a tad more, but again, when you get above 20 inches, you start to get into something else, maybe a parlor guitar. The guitarlele comes in tenor, comes in baritone. Baritones have a 20-inch scale length, and they're a little bit bigger in body. Now, this tenor size guitarlele is tuned A to A. A, D, G, C, E, A. And that's another thing it has in common with a ukulele, because ukuleles are commonly tuned G, C, E, A. The first 4 strings on the guitarlele are the same as the 4 strings of a ukulele. We add for a guitarlele the low A and the low D. 6 strings. So size, tuning, although some guitarleles with different strings than are on this guitarlele can be tuned E to E like a guitar. But then, is it still a guitarlele? I like the A to A tuning. The A to A tuning. So, what makes this instrument like a guitar? Well, obviously, it has 6 strings. It has the same number of strings as that big guitar I held up. And it uses guitar chord shapes when you play it. Now, all you guitar players out there are looking at this chord and going, it doesn't sound right. That should be a G. That doesn't sound like a G. No, it doesn't sound like a G. It's the shape that you would use to play a G chord on the guitar, but it's a C chord. The guitarlele, remember, tuned A to A, it's 1/4 higher than a guitar is tuned. It's as though you took your guitar, let me trade instruments a moment. You took a guitar and put your capo here on the 5th fret. On the 5th fret, when I play that same chord, Now the voicing is the same as the guitarlele. At the 5th fret, this G chord shape is playing a C chord note. If I use the C shape that you would play on a guitar, oh, at the 5th fret, that's an F. A D chord shape at the 5th fret, that's a G. It's up a 4th from the guitar, as though you had this capo at the 5th fret of your guitar. So, we share the 6 strings and the wider neck, the larger headstock of a guitar, and the scale length and body size of a tenor ukulele. So you've got a guitarlele. Guitarlele. That's what it is. An instrument in its own right. Oh, sounds pretty cheery. Sounds sort of ukish because it shares that body size. Is it as big voiced as the guitar? No. No, it has a brighter, cheerier, smaller voice than this guitar, even when I capo at the 5th fret. And listen to that resonance. Why is it so much different? Look at the size of this guitar. Remember the guitarlele, the whole thing would fit inside of this and rattle around. Well, that's what the music notes do. When you play a chord on this big instrument, oh, it's got all sorts of space to rattle around and build that resonance before it explodes out the sound hole. The guitarlele is not going to duplicate that level of resonance just because it's just not big enough. But I like the peppy sound of the guitarlele. I like it a lot. Now, a couple of advantages. Besides, if you want a sort of peppier instrument than a guitar, this shorter scale length puts less tension on the strings than that guitar with its 25 inches plus scale length. Those strings are a lot of tension. Less tension on the strings means a somewhat easier fingering, an easier fingering. And also, in addition to the fact that the tension is less, guitarlele, most of them, there are exceptions, but most of the guitarleles are going to be using nylon strings. Even though, as on this instrument, the A, D, low G are wound strings. Their inner core is the same nylon material as the first 3 strings. So nylon, obviously, is easier to press upon and press down onto the frets than steel. It just is. So, by and large, this instrument is easier to play. The neck, while this neck is pretty close in width, might be a little tiny bit wider than the guitar I was holding earlier. This is 1 7/8 inches at the nut, and that guitar was 1 11/16 inches. Less tension on the strings, Nylon instead of steel, simply easier to play. The neck is shorter, obviously. Now that means there's less space between the frets. So, big-fingered hand like mine, especially as you play up the neck, you might start to feel a little cramped. But it's a trade-off. That's a trade-off. I love this instrument. Personally, I'm not going back to the guitar. Although, I've got my eye on a baritone, which would be slightly bigger than this. Remember, 20 scale inches for a baritone, commonly. This tenor, 17. So, what else can I tell you about this wonderful instrument? Except, wow, I love it. Think about branching out if you're already a guitar player or already a ukulele player. Think about branching out, learning some guitarlele. I think you'll be glad you did. What if you're just starting to play something, looking for something to play, anything to play? Well, this could be a really viable option for you, a guitarlele. The added 2 strings give you more musical range than the ukulele with its 4 strings. C chord on the ukulele, C chord on the guitarlele. A little deeper, a little more breadth, and yet it's still peppy. What's not to love? The guitarlele. Well, if you like what you heard, hit like and subscribe to the channel. Guitarlele Grampa. See you in the next video.